Hello and welcome to Learning English. Are you practicing your English? Excellent. Let's study English together with a fascinating story. Please remember to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Let's begin. In the United States, a very large mountain is known as Mount Rushmore. It's located in the state of South Dakota. On the face of this mountain, you can find the likenesses of 4 significant American presidents. These faces are enormous and have been sculpted directly into the stone. They represent George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. These 4 presidents are celebrated for the crucial actions they took for the nation. Mount Rushmore is a destination for countless visitors each year. It serves as a national memorial. It assists people in remembering vital periods of American history. The faces have existed on the mountain for a great many years. Recently, a well-known American leader who has served as president twice expressed a unique desire. He wished for his face to be carved onto the mountain, positioned beside the other 4 presidents. This aspiration sparked a widespread discussion. Among many people, the concept of including a 5th face has become a major question. Is it feasible to sculpt another face into the hard stone of Mount Rushmore? Are there specific reasons this might not be able to happen? People started to wonder if the mountain had enough space and if the rock was sufficiently strong. Additionally, people questioned whether it was the appropriate action to take. This story will explore the idea and examine the numerous reasons why adding another face is exceptionally difficult, and perhaps not possible at all. 2. A big dream President Donald Trump cultivated. A deep fascination with Mount Rushmore during his initial term as the nation's leader. He made several visits to the monument and frequently spoke in public about his great admiration for the 4 presidents carved there. He revealed his personal hope, calling it a major dream to one day have his own face included on the renowned mountainside. A significant event related to this dream happened when Kristi Noem, a representative from South Dakota who later assumed a key government role, presented him with a special gift. The gift was a custom model of Mount Rushmore. Its unique feature was a 5th face President Trump's incorporated onto the granite surface next to the original 4 presidents. This personal gift brought attention to the concept of adding his likeness to the national monument. The dream subsequently started to evolve into a formal proposal. On January 28, 2025, soon after beginning his 2nd term as president, a Florida representative named Anna Paulina Luna formally introduced a proposal in the House of Representatives. This proposal was officially designated House Resolution 792. It requested that the Secretary of the Interior, the government official responsible for national parks, develop plans to carve President Trump's face on the Mount Rushmore National Memorial. The proposal mentioned that President Trump served as both the 45th and 47th president. It cited his achievements in fields like the economy and national security as justifications for this honor. Proponents of the proposal believed his leadership had a historically significant impact on America. The official plan was forwarded to a specialized committee in the House of Representatives that handles natural resources. While the proposal was met with questions, it also received backing from some key figures within the administration. Specifically, the Secretary of the Interior at that time, Doug Burgum, addressed the idea publicly. In an interview, Secretary Burgum declared his belief that there was certainly enough room on the mountain for a 5th presidential face. This public remark from the head official in charge of the national park service suggested a degree of government endorsement for the proposal, representing a major step in the push to turn the big dream into a reality. 3a. Big problem: the mountain that displays the famous faces consists of rock that is incredibly old. It's known as granite, and it was formed approximately 1.7 billion years ago. This granite was selected because it is generally strong enough for carving. However, even durable rock can present issues. Experts have conducted detailed studies of the mountain for many years. They are aware that the rock is not ideal for new additions. There are numerous cracks throughout the granite. Engineers have identified over 100 significant cracks surrounding the 4 faces. These cracks are like fissures that penetrate deep into the rock. Furthermore, the granite contains areas with different materials mixed in, such as softer stone or crystals that lack the strength of solid granite. These inclusions create weak spots in the rock in certain places. Individuals knowledgeable about mountain carving state that adding a new face is an extremely difficult task. It is also hazardous. To carve, workers employ special tools for drilling holes and breaking the rock. This activity makes the mountain vibrate and shift slightly. These vibrations and the removal of rock could cause existing cracks to move or widen. When rock is removed, it can also eliminate the natural support for other sections of the mountain. This presents a major risk to the faces of the four presidents. Already sculpted: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Their faces are secured in the rock. Should the surrounding rock become unstable, the faces could sustain damage. They might develop more cracks or even break apart. Experts are concerned that carving a new face could easily harm the existing faces. To sculpt a new face large enough to be visible, a vast quantity of rock would need to be removed. Experts estimate this could be hundreds of thousands of tons of stone. This is an immense amount of material. Removing that much rock necessitates extensive drilling and breaking. The process would send powerful vibrations through the entire mountain. This could weaken the existing fragile spots and create significant problems for the entire monument. Experts, including the engineers and geologists who monitor the mountain, assert that it is exceedingly difficult and perhaps impossible to safely add another large carving. The primary reason is the physical state of the mountain itself. The many cracks, the weak areas in the rock, and the dangers of the carving process pose a very big problem for the famous monument. The rock indicates that adding a fifth face is highly risky and might not be possible without damaging the important faces already there. This is the difficult reality the dream must confront. 4. The four famous faces. The mountain features four renowned faces sculpted from stone. These are four significant men who acted as presidents of the United States during pivotal moments in its history. The artist, a sculptor by the name of Gutzon Borglum, meticulously chose these four individuals to symbolize various phases of America's growth and principles. The first face is George Washington. He was the country's inaugural president and is regarded as the leader who steered the nation in its earliest days, setting up the framework of its democratic government. The second face is Thomas Jefferson. It's the third president. He had a major part in the nation's expansion, acquiring vast new lands. He also authored key documents containing ideas on freedom and human rights that molded the nation. The third face is that of Abraham Lincoln. He served as president during the American Civil War, a period of immense division. His leadership was instrumental in preserving the country and abolishing slavery, transforming America permanently. The fourth face is Theodore Roosevelt, presiding in the early 20th century, signified America's rise as a formidable power on the global stage. He was recognized for his dynamism and for establishing laws to conserve nature and regulate large corporations. Gutzon Borglum intended for the monument to narrate America's history through these great leaders. He believed it was vital to select presidents whose tenures and historical impact were widely understood and acknowledged. He aimed for the memorial to celebrate enduring American values, not fleeting political notions. His initial concept for the sculpture was more ambitious. He planned to depict more than just their heads. But sections of the mountain stone were unsuitable for deep carving. Consequently, Mr. Borglum had to alter his original designs and sculpt only the faces. The rock also presented difficulties with details. For example, President Jefferson's face was initially begun in one location, but the stone proved weak, forcing it to be relocated. The appearance of President Lincoln's beard and hair is influenced by the type of rock in that area. Over the years, people have occasionally proposed adding other presidents to the famous mountain. In the 1990s, some considered adding Franklin D. Roosevelt, who guided the nation through hardships like the Great Depression and World War II. Later, suggestions arose for Ronald Reagan, remembered by many for his role in the late 20th century, which included the end of the Cold War. Nevertheless, the addition of more faces never materialized. The four presidents selected by the sculptor long ago remain. the soul figures carved into the rock. The mountain is widely regarded as a completed work of art. 5. People disagree when the idea of adding a fifth face to Mount Rushmore became public. People held vastly different views. This initiated numerous debates throughout the nation. Some individuals were strong supporters of the president and wished to see him on the mountain. They believed he accomplished great things for the United States during his presidency. They argued that his decisions boosted the economy and fortified the country. They saw him as a decisive leader. These supporters felt the president had a significant impact on America, similar to the first 4 presidents on the mountain. They viewed adding him to the monument as a fitting way to commemorate his important deeds and historical position. They believed he merited this unique honor. However, a great many other people disagreed entirely. They were staunch critics of the president. They did not believe he belonged on the mountain. They pointed to his actions or statements that they considered improper. They felt he did not embody the positive values of the country. They argued his conduct and policies were unlike those of the presidents already sculpted there. They believed his presidency created numerous problems. Furthermore, many historians noted that, when compared to other presidents, this president was not widely considered among the nation's greatest leaders. Native American tribes from the region also expressed their feelings. To them, the Black Hills, the area containing the mountain, sacred ground. It is a place of immense importance to their culture and spirituality. They maintained that the land was taken from them long ago in violation of treaties. The faces on the mountain are already a painful symbol for them, representing this history. Adding another face would be seen as compounding the disrespect to their sacred site. Tribal leaders consistently stated their opposition to any alterations to the mountain. The entire concept sparked a major cultural conversation in America. People raised significant questions. What is the purpose of a monument like Mount Rushmore? Should it only feature presidents from the distant past who are viewed as founders or saviors? Or can it also recognize modern presidents who had a major influence, even if they remain controversial? This debate highlighted how differently people see America's history, its heroes, and what is valuable for the future. It was apparent that there was no consensus on who is worthy of a place on such an iconic monument. 6. New ideas for the mountain people began to explore alternative methods for honoring a president. This was a result of the extreme difficulty of carving a new face into the rock of Mount Rushmore. Experts were aware that the mountain's stone had many internal issues, such as cracks and weak sections. Attempting to carve more could jeopardize the 4 existing faces. Since the rock was such a significant obstacle, people considered new approaches. One concept involved using modern technology. Powerful lights, known as digital projectors, could be used. These lights could display an image or face onto the mountain's surface. This could be done at night or for special occasions. Using light means no rock is cut. The mountain remains unharmed. It offers a temporary method to display a face. Another proposal was to identify an entirely new location. The Black Hills region contains numerous mountains. It's possible that one of them could be utilized for a new sculpture. This new monument would be dedicated to the president. It would be distinct from Mount Rushmore. This would allow the famous 4 faces to remain untouched while establishing a new site to honor a different leader on a different mountain. Third suggestion was to erect a large statue near the mountain. Rather than carving into the stone, a large figure could be constructed from materials like metal or durable stone. This statue could be positioned on the ground nearby. It could be made as large as the faces on Mount Rushmore. Constructing a statue would be a major artistic endeavor that doesn't alter the mountain itself. The most significant alternative concept was to establish a new, large memorial area. This idea was named the Garden of American Heroes. It could be constructed in the Black Hills. This garden would pay tribute to many important figures from the nation's history, not just a single president. It could feature statues, gardens, and other forms of art. A president could be honored here alongside many other notable Americans. This would create a completely new national memorial site. These ideas demonstrated a desire to find a way to honor a president without damaging the historic mountain. People used creativity to examine different methods, from using light to finding new locations or constructing statues. These alternative plans presented potential solutions to the difficult problem of working with the mountain's fragile rock. They suggested paths that might succeed, while keeping the original monument secure. 7. Money and rules. Adding a face to Mount Rushmore would demand a vast amount of money. It is an enormous and complex undertaking. Experts in construction and mountain engineering estimate that it could cost an exceptionally large sum, with some predictions exceeding $1 billion. This steep cost is due to the complexity of the work. It requires specialized heavy machinery, expertly trained workers, and rigorous safety protocols due to the high altitude. The cost of materials and labor is also significantly greater today than it was many years ago when the initial 4 faces were created. The mountain is more than just a piece of rock. It is a national memorial, which means it is managed by the government and safeguarded by numerous laws. These regulations are designed to keep the monument and the surrounding nature safe. One crucial law safeguards historical places. Mount Rushmore is on the list of historic sites, so modifying it requires special approval following a thorough review. Another collection of laws is centered on the environment. Any major construction project must first undergo a study. This study examines how the work will impact all aspects of nature, including plants, animals, air, and water. This environmental assessment takes a considerable amount of time and increases the project's expense. There are also specific regulations regarding consultation with certain groups. The Black Hills, the region where Mount Rushmore is situated, is sacred territory for Native American tribes, particularly the Lakota Sioux. Federal law mandates that the government must consult with these tribes about any plans for the land. Their historical and spiritual ties to the area are of great importance. All these laws and rules create numerous potential legal obstacles. If the government were to approve adding a face, various groups could strongly object and initiate legal action. Environmental protection groups might file lawsuits based on the environmental study. Native American tribes could pursue legal measures due to the sacred nature of the land. Historical preservation groups might also go to court, arguing that the alteration damages the monument's integrity. These legal battles can lead to extensive delays and substantially increase the project's cost. Consequently, even if the mountain's rock were perfectly suited for carving, the immense funding required and the intricate web of laws and regulations make adding a face extremely challenging. It necessitates not only political desire, but also the overcoming of major financial and legal hurdles, completing all the required studies. Obtaining permissions and managing potential lawsuits is a lengthy and arduous process. This is why money and rules pose such a significant challenge to the idea of adding a 5th face. Point 8. The end of the story. The dream of including a 5th face on Mount Rushmore encountered numerous obstacles. The most significant issues were discovered. Within the mountain itself, the rock is ancient, formed billions of years ago. Experts conducted careful studies of the mountain. They discovered a multitude of cracks and fragile areas in the stone. There are sections of rock that are not suitable for carving, such as flaky stone or zones with softer crystals. Sculpting a new face would require machines and possibly explosives. Engineers clarified that this could cause the mountain to vibrate, could enlarge the existing cracks. This presented a major risk. It could potentially damage the faces of the 4 presidents already there. The safety of the current monument was the highest priority. Furthermore, the sculptor who created Mount Rushmore completed his project many years ago. He selected the for presidents for specific reasons, to symbolize key eras of American history. Many view the monument as a finished piece of art, not something to be altered. Money was another substantial problem. Creating a new face would be incredibly expensive, possibly costing over $1 billion. There are also numerous laws protecting the mountain and its surrounding land. Gaining the necessary permissions would be extremely difficult and would take a very long time. Due to the challenging rock, the high cost, and the regulations, adding a new face appears nearly impossible. The story of this dream illustrates how we commemorate important figures. Should historical monuments be changed, or ought we to find new methods to honor today's leaders? It causes us to reflect on history and the ways we show respect. Do you believe modern presidents should be included on historical monuments, or should we build new ones to celebrate them? Please subscribe to the channel. It takes only a moment, and it truly helps us create even better English videos for you. Your support is invaluable. Thank you.